Welcome to your Flame Fundamentals training. One other aspect of look development is focusing a grade on different parts of your image. You may want to emphasize something specific or completely relight a scene. Flame utilizes a tool known as a selective, which isolates your grade to specific parts of your image. This is called power windows in other applications. In this video, you'll learn how to apply a selective and look at the various options to get exactly the grade you want. When you start grading with the image timeline effects and the master grade, the first tool that is displayed is the primary grade. This is your initial grade at the beginning of the color pipeline. This is displayed in the heads-up display and tab menus in the main controls. So you can adjust the levels in the overall image, balance the colors, and even start stylizing your look. To start using the first selective, click the 1 button in the HUD. You now have the selective menu with its associated master grade tab. By default, you have one selective, but you can add more by clicking the numbers in the Selective Manager as you need them. A selective can either be a mask shape, a key, or a combination of both. As a straightforward example, let's enhance the light coming into the room. Here you have a variety of shape presets, and let's go with the horizontal line. Position the shape directly in the image with its axis, or use the axis controls. Now rotate the line to match the direction of the light. Switching to the Selectives master grade, you can lift that area and grade that region. To change the graduation of the grade, you can drag the softness point out or use the softness offset slider. So the selective grade has definitely altered the mood of the image. When using the selectives, it's incredibly useful to see where they're affecting the image with or without grading. For this, you use the Image Selective view. This will give you multiple ways to view the selective. For instance, pressing F9 once will display the selective matte view. Very good for seeing how multiple shapes and keys combine within the selective. Pressing F9 again will give you the selective input view, which shows your selective as a colored overlay. This is very useful to see where the selective affects the image. As a tip, you can go to the Setup menu Display tab and change the color, transparency, and behavior of the selective overlay. Pressing F9 for a third time will give you the selective result view. This view shows the current selective combined with any previous grades in the color pipeline. Any later selectives or output grades will not be shown in this view. To see the complete grade of the entire color pipeline, you must be looking at the result view. To add another selective to your grade, click the next available selective in the Selectives Manager. It's also worth noting that you can move, duplicate, and delete selectives either using the context menu or keyboard shortcuts. So using this selective, you will brighten the actor's face with multiple shapes. Now you've already seen the mask presets in the previous example, but to freehand draw a mask, right-click on the selective or directly on the image and add a free Gmask link. Draw a mask spline around the actor's face. Next, add some softness and adjust the softness offset. Go to the master grade of the selective and increase the gain with a slight adjustment on the color. So you see how the emphasis has shifted to the actor's face. Let's say you want to extend the grade down the neck. To add a second mask shape to the selective, you follow the same steps as before, either with the preset or freehand drawing a mask. Once the shape is closed, it combines with the other shapes or keys in the selective, and you can also add softness to blend the shapes. Toggling through the different selective views, you can see how the shapes are combined and where they will affect the image. It's worth noting that you can change the blend modes between the shapes in the Gmask tabs if you want to combine them or use one as a cookie cutter. Finally, always remember to return to the result view to see the overall result of the grade. The result view also displays the heads-up display where you can navigate the color pipeline as well as select the masks when working within a selective. In the current example, a selective using mask shapes was used to enhance the face of an actor. However, this was only for a single frame. If your subject is moving, you need to animate the shapes to stay with the subject. You could do this by manually keyframing the mask, but a faster and more accurate way is to track the mask. Let's use a planar track to get this done fast and efficiently. Select the axis of the mask covering the face, and in the Axis menu, change the tracking mode to planar. Turn on Auto Update Reference to account for the face changing shape as the actor speaks, and click Snap to set the reference for the current frame. Depending what frame you're looking at, you can track forward or backward. Now analyze the move. Flame completes the track, and the selective sticks with the actor for the whole shot. When working within the grading pipeline, the heads-up display or HUD, which is shown in the result or contextual views, is a great way to see and easily navigate the components of your grade. You can get to any part within the pipeline, as well as select any masks associated with the selective. One extra tip is that you can also navigate your selectives with keyboard shortcuts. Now, a different way of navigating the color pipeline is to use the image schematic. You select the view for the schematic and choose the image schematic from the View pull-down menu. This view shows every component of the color pipeline, and each component is represented as a node. The connections help you see the flow of the pipeline and how each component relates to each other. So here is the image surface, which starts off with primaries and a master grade. Then you have the first selective using a master grade and a single Gmask, followed by the second selective and two Gmasks. And finally, there is a master grade for any final output grades. This view is more detailed than the heads-up display and can be used for complex operations or even troubleshooting grades. You can rewire the nodes if necessary, giving you an amazing amount of control over your color pipeline. Please move on to the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Flame Learning channel. Thanks for watching.